DaBoO, DaBoO, DaBoO. All right, so ref and go, and we can get this game underway. It's going to be the third game. DaBoO taking a game off Select, and we are going into this.
Got to give him credit for that one. That was a really nice bit of play, and Select just let his guard down. Very foolish thing to do. You should never do that in any tournament.
Yeah, his guard was down, and there's that kickboxing attitude. Kicks him in the head. Takes the game.
Yeah, kick him in the head, give him a mild concussion, send him to the hospital, and then bring him to Shakuras Plateau, and we'll see if he can actually defeat him here. And ladies and gentlemen, I bring you dignitas.SeleCT. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran to the southeast of this particular map versus his opponent, Lowland Lions LLL.DaBoO. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the northwest.
And we'll have to see if Select does decide to go for that. Once again, I missed the bin. Again, there's like so many tissues on the floor.
Your TVB is down. Don't touch it. It's toxic.
Oh, yeah, nobody touched the tissue.
Yeah, there's actually a biohazard going on over there.
There is. There's a spill. There's a spillage. And where's Select? Select's going to build the supply depot here. I wonder if he's going to build the barracks on the low ground. If he decides to do that, then we know what's going to come. On the other hand, DaBoO. What can DaBoO... If DaBoO beats Select... I don't even know what I'd do if
your world would go upside down.
I know, it's like, I think everybody's world would go upside down.
That isn't really supposed to happen, but...
Imagine if there was people betting on this, and they're like, well, DaBoO's my best friend, I've known him since he was 8 years old, I'm going to put 50 euros on him.
They're going to be very happy at the end of this one,
win like 1,000 euros.
Yeah, damn right. I mean, don't take any credit away from DaBoO there. He played that game really well, and Select slacked off.
We actually have a 13 spawning pool coming down, so
all right.
The barracks timing's quite regular here, and there's the refinery. So there is not going to be any 2 barracks play here from Select, and this 13 spawning pool is probably just to deal with any bunker play actually, because bunker play is quite popular on this map for sure. And there goes the extractor. So we are going to be going into kind of fast speedlings, and then just a regular expansion.
Yeah, bunker play is quite popular with Select as well, as we've seen. You know, he likes to do this. I remember a game from quite some time ago, in fact. And we see.
My God. I'm like getting nervous right now.
There is the best man in the world in the audience right now. It's pretty awesome.
Goody's watching. Goody's
watching, man. Yeah.
Goody's watching.
Goody may watch Select get destroyed right here, especially after the last game. That was.
Do you know the score? It's 1-1. DaBoO beat the game of Select. He's like laughing. He's like, oh, Select.
Yes, purity man Select. I snap him in two.
Yes.
Oh, it's more of the German accent.
I wonder who would win in a fight, Goody or DaBoO.
That's going to be a close call, honestly. I'd say that would be a really close call.
I don't know.
Whatever the case.
Black belt karate versus Goody.
Goody is a martial art into
himself. You could just imagine that, like, DaBoO goes in, he's like, all right, like, gets all ready, like, gets on that one leg, like the Karate Kid film.
Yeah, and there's actually 5 siege tanks surrounding
just, like,
him.
Grabs him,
what the hell?
snaps him.
Yeah, why are the siege tanks here? There shouldn't be that. Goody is the Pants King. What can we say? Well, let's see what Select's planning on doing. So he's going to go a reactor Hellion, of course, and we'll see if he decides just to repeat the same one from game 1. You never know, he might. But he could also try to go for the same build that he tried last game, which didn't really work, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, a kind of build that's good here is going for an early starport too, because Zerg players sometimes take it in consideration how easy it is to actually defend their natural, and so they cut corners and they actually go for a very fast layer, and we might actually get punished by that. But Select needs to just play as solid as can be, and he should be able to close up this game. I mean, there's actually no reason. Actually, DaBoO, didn't quite work out. What he was planning to do there was actually run in before the factory got planted. Yeah. But Select just needs to play as straight up as can be, and he, shouldn't really lose to DaBoO. But at the same time, look what just happened. I mean, if Select makes some mistakes, and there's 50 Bailings coming at you, and you only have like 3 tanks, then you're gonna lose.
Never underestimate a player in this tournament ever. The fact of the matter is, you're at Dreamhack. And that's all you need to know. This guy's at Dreamhack, he is playing, and he is playing pretty damn well. You should never underestimate any player in that scenario. All right, DaBoO's there with a nice, juicy transfer down to his natural expansion. So let's going to try and expand behind this as well, which you will be able to do without too much of a problem. Stim coming in from him, so looking for
one Hellion gets caught off guard right away.
DaBoO's actually pretty good at dealing with
He's going to go for the surround, actually. He's going to come from the side and Select wisely knowing that does go into the... He kind of knows he's dead.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to take as many as he can with him.
Exactly.
I mean, if you kill 4, then at least that's a reasonable trade per Hellion. DaBoO's actually really good at dealing with Hellions, unless, of course, there's about 20 of them, as we saw in the first game, which was a bit of a massacre. But there's been less Hellions coming this time around. So Stim's on the way. There's only 1 barracks up at the moment.
Bit of a supply block as well. Look at that for DaBoO.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's going to have to build that Overlord right now. And he could extract a trick, for instance, in order to get himself an extra drone here. Or, of course, he could turn a drone into a spine crawler. And that's exactly what he's doing. There we go. His Overlord's out. So, you know, I think actually the reason I love playing Zerg the most is because I have ways to get out of supply blocks, whereas playing Terran, it always happens to me. It's terrible. It's a disaster.
And looks like DaBoO's gone back into gas now, and he's about to reach 100 gas, but he actually can't go to layer simply because he's building 2 queens at once right now. And meanwhile, in select space, we actually have 3 barracks go down, and there is the switch for the starport coming up very, very shortly. So we are going to see Select's preferred style of play, which is very fast medivacs with Marines, and as long as you split well against Banelings, and usually your opponent's not even going to have that many Banelings anyway, especially if they're going to play the regular style of going up for a spy ASAP.
Unless, of course, you're DaBoO, in which case you might have 50 of them in your back pocket.
Maybe. Meanwhile, Select is playing quite standard, and he's going to go in, and knowing that there's not that many Zerglings out, gets quite a nice position on this natural.
Yeah, although DaBoO does pull off the line quite nicely there, and so lots of damage done to those Hellions as they pass through. I mean, the Hellions really haven't done a lot yet. I mean, that's going to happen right now, as DaBoO, unfortunately, has created a perfect line for a bit of drone kebab, and that is going to hurt. That really, really is.
And 10 drones go down here for DaBoO, and not such a great start. And surprisingly, we actually have 2 more Hellions coming out, which he hasn't switched up that starport, so does lose every single Hellion. But the gases haven't been taken down to 26 drones. He's now going to transfer back to his main base. Very heavy transfer back up there. Needs to get back into gases ASAP. And it looks like we are seeing a bit of a crumble here from DaBoO, and Select actually walling in as he doesn't have anything right now. And he's going to plant that factory down, as well he could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's going to go down before it reaches there. Just a fraction of a second, and there's no way they can get through that. And this is the time when DaBoO wishes, you know what I would really like right now? Some Banelings. You know what I'm going to build? I'm going to build a Baneling nest. And you know what these are? These are supply depots. You know what they're really not very good against? Banelings.
And that would be quite a feat if he decided to bust at this time in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, he's seen the factory at the lower ground without any tech lab on it, but it could have been a second factory, I suppose. But at the same time, it's a humongous risk if you try to Baneling bust through this now. I'm surprised actually it hasn't taken a 3rd base yet. It's getting rather late for that. Meanwhile, medivacs are on the way. Combat shields also, engineering bay, and 3rd command center going down here for Select. So DaBoO is working on double upgrades now for his Zergling, still on 2 base though.
Yeah, that's intriguing, and I have to wonder if he is going to go for some kind of crazy bust as a direct result of that. But I don't know, he's taking the 4th gas. So you'd have to bang up an absurd amount of gas, really. It's difficult to tell with DaBoO. Let's just admit it. We totally miscalled the last game, and all of that gas ended up being used for mass Baneling. The link count is getting high again. It could very well be just that again.
Well, he seems like coming, and with medivacs and Marines, he doesn't really want to lose these Marines. Lose his 3rd base, so he's going to be able to bring a lot of lings down to actually defend against this. It may actually still get a cancellation on here. He doesn't really want that to happen, though, so he needs to go now.
Yeah, unfortunately, he is actually waiting, so I think that cancel is going to end up happening. Or, of course, he loses it. No. That did not go well. DaBoO with a bit of indecision there, not able to cancel quickly enough. Should have just done it straight away and then tried to catch those guys out of position. Now, of course, the pressure will continue to be applied. The Overlords will get sniped off, and DaBoO's now supply blocked as well. Baneling speed is on the way, but no actual Banelings.
He's actually in a great position to fight here, Select is, because there's no Banelings whatsoever.
And DaBoO actually with, once again, a bit of indecision. You saw him actually dance forward and back. He lost a ton of Zerglings in the process. And Select losing only a single Marine for the cost of about 20 lings. That really should not be happening.
And Queen energy is so high, 110 on the natural, just now using the lava inject. And if you compare that to a player like Sheth or Idra, it's literally at 0 for the entire of the game.
Yeah.
And here comes a push with tanks as well. There's no 3rd base. There's no economy, really, for DaBoO. He's only now at 50 drones, just built a bunch of drones. And he has no answer to all these units. He has a lot of Banelings being morphed. But maybe he's able to fight against this, but Select has to be so careful because once again, we saw last game
he lands the
very
scan.
easily.
He sees everything, and I don't know. The bending speed is not done yet, so he should be able to cancel a few of those before he even starts. Then a quick pick up and go against those Banelings, and once he gets a good siege tank deployment here to start popping large groups of Banelings, then DaBoO will be in trouble.
And here's the spread as well from Select, knowing that there's pretty much only Banelings, so...
Banelings is not the answer all the time. As much as I love the idea of it, is he actually going to lose a Marine? No, he's not. Oh my god. Select. GG. Banelings is not the answer to Select on Shikuras Plateau, and DaBoO, having put up an extremely entertaining game on number 2, unfortunately crumbles on game number 3, and Select takes it as expected, although he drops the map to DaBoO, which is not good when the determining factor in a group, if there is, of course, a tie, will be the map count.
And it looks like, just looking at other results from the other groups, DaBoO 2-0's hero. Wow.
Impressive.
That is a great result for DaBoO, qualifying him for the day 3 of Dreamhack. He will advance to tomorrow. Unfortunately, Elfie is out of the tournament, who also lost versus Sen. Sen showing his ZVP, one of the best in the world, does 2-0 Elfie as well.
Yep.
And now it's going to be between who can advance between Sen and Hero. And guess who gets to cast that game? Us. Not going to leave you. I'm Artosis. We got to cast that game. That's coming up next in 10 minutes. Meanwhile, in the other group, let's have a look at this. So Select now does it beat there. So DaBoO is out of the tournament now, unfortunately going 0-2 within this group. Sase is currently 1-1 with Nurchio. Ooh.
That must be a brutal game. That's actually going on right now, I believe. I can't remember which stream it's on, but TeamLiquid.net, go check them both out. Go find that, because Sase versus Nurchio could not possibly be a bad game.
Yeah, and let's have a look quickly which maps they did play. So looks like Sase won on dual site against Nurchio, and then went ahead and lost on Shikuras Plateau. So last game's in Sase's favor.
Yes, it is.
So he might have a bit of advantage going into that, but that's another great result. And to be honest, Select has to beat Nurchio at the end of this as well, and that's going to test his skills, because Nurchio is very good.
Yep, Nurchio is extremely good.
Select is, through losing early on at Sase, Select has to beat Nurchio. And even though he's won the second game, he has to beat him. But like we said, we get the goody-goody game now, which is going to be Sen versus Hero coming up very, very shortly in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, folks, you are watching Dreamhack 2011. Remember to check out the other streams over on TeamLiquid.net, over to the right, which I think is actually that way on the camera. There we go. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes with the next matchup.